Welcome back to our channel. If your birthday on this day, kindly comment your name, year of birth and country of birth. If you like our work, give like and subscribe our channel. Check description to see about our offers and new announcement. Here we see truth about birthday on this day. On the off chance that you were brought into the world on the 5th day of the month, you have a curious psyche and will in general investigate novel thoughts in a scientific way. You are appropriate to any job where you would play out a help or utilizing your ability to think rapidly, like organization, treatment, bookkeeping or processing. You for the most part make companions without any problem. You are intellectually extremely solid. You are brisk in your contemplations and taking choices. You are exceptionally rushed and rash in your activities. You don't care for any work that is hard to comprehend, and subsequently you normally get into the techniques for bringing in brisk cash. You have a sharp sense and are shrewd of bringing in cash by innovations and groundbreaking thoughts. You are normally a theorist and a pioneer. You are inclined to the financial exchanges and are by and large willing and prepared to face challenges, taking all things together the work you attempt. You are of a solid character. You rapidly make a rebound even from the heaviest blow. Nothing appears to influence you for long. The blows of fate or the misfortunes you happen don't leave any distinguishing proof on your character. On the off chance that you are acceptable naturally, you remain so. Assuming terrible, even all the proclaiming on the planet won't have any smallest impact on you. You exhaust and fumes yourself so much that you are regularly a casualty of mental meltdown. You become effectively touchy and are here and there extremely hot-tempered. Regardless, you ought not lose your characteristic comical inclination. While being savvy, you may experience the ill effects of overstrains of sensory system. You might be inclined to a sleeping disorder or what is called as restless evenings. Rest, quietness and rest are your best drugs. Having carrots and bread can be helpful to you. You are snappy in making a decision about the shortcoming of your adversaries. You are loving and minding towards your family and kids. You like to travel a ton. You are exceptionally brisk and responsive in your activities. You comprehend your benefits both truly and intellectually. You are an anxious sort of individual. You love change, travel and experience. You are somewhat of a drifter. You have huge interest and long to see distant places and meet extraordinary people groups. Your field is simply the world, and it is simply an issue of time before you are off by and by on another journey. You are exceptionally versatile and need fervor. You relate well to other people and have a simple route with words. Indeed, you have an ability for advancement, advertising, and, for a few, composing. Your social abilities are profoundly refined. Your capacity to impart and advance an item or occasion makes you a characteristic sales rep. You cooperate with other people as long as there are not very numerous limitations. You experience difficulty being bound to a work area or inside an office. You can undoubtedly feel cooped up and can't accept if there is a lot of assortment and change in your life. You become exhausted and anxious without any problem. You might be somewhat reckless and need to learn control and precision. You have a snappy and scientific psyche. You might be careless and stubborn. Nonetheless, you are profoundly imaginative and can generally concoct a surprisingly serviceable answer for most issues, either your own or those of others. You can be fretful and indiscreet. You can likewise indulge your faculties in food, liquor, sex, and medications. You should be mindful so as to shield your well-being from the overabundances of your preferences. You are a gifted individual from birth. It is your capacity to add to finding your specialty for self-articulation. To completely uncover every one of your abilities, you ought not restrict your opportunity of activity. You are inclined to correspondence and travel, the symbol of a person who is not sitting in one place, striving for self-improvement, searching and gaining experience. Your nature, overwhelmed with enthusiasm, in need of adventure and risk. The decision to act comes spontaneously and suddenly. In life, you are ruled by a positive attitude, resourcefulness, wit and cheerfulness. You are directed only forward and think only about the positive outcome of everything, so that you do not take it as a rule. People with the number of 5 lives are nervous, adventurous and very mobile. The capacity to look more youthful than the genuine age and stand apart on any foundation because of articulated sexuality, portability, movement, contact. On this brilliant foundation, the capacity to reason reasonably frequently comes as a shock to the conversationalist. Those brought into the world under the indication of the 5 favor a lot to appreciate life and attempt various accomplices prior to settling down. Sex for them is a wide field for tests, and they anticipate similar get back from accomplices. Their marriage will generally rely upon this. Devotion and the longing to learn new things assume a significant part in picking a daily existence accomplice. You are represented by a steady appreciation for everything uncommon, already obscure. You are roused and loaded up with energy, don't prefer to remain long in one spot. Any place you will be, you feel comfortable. Experience and travel for you as a much-needed refresher. Mercury. People of this kind have an exceptionally exuberant and particular psyche. They step up in all things, regardless. They rapidly track down a judicious grain. They regularly look to attempt their solidarity in uncommon callings. A moronic routine is strange to them. Everything bubbles in their grasp. They are quick in all things. They rapidly think, reach inferences, work. The capacity to communicate musings has an exceptional significance for them. They are overpowered with hunger for information, basic, ingenious, yet immediately become deterred from disappointments. This is an irresolute character. These individuals are cherished and mainstream, not financial, voracious, inquisitive to all signs of life, enchanting, never lose their uniqueness. They track down a typical language with their own sword. However, generally they coexist well with any remaining kinds of individuals. 5 is the wide variety of pentagram, a 5-pointed occult magic big name. This is unfolded in all directions looking for perfection. This megastar is assumed to function a terrific omen. Those who fall beneath it as have an effect on, may be led into the unknown, and, regardless of how exceptional will be the anticipated discoveries, recollect approximately the dangers of terra incognita. Number 5 isn't static, it's far risky. It symbolizes the regular search and, consequently, it could create confusion inside the existence of man. The one who is born below number 5 ought to discover ways to control his passions. In this situation, this magical variety will deliver wealth that turn into predicted by the Pythagoreans. People of number 5 are very exciting, and besides, they're typically friendly to the others and tolerant to exclusive ideas and critiques. However, their showy look or sarcastic feedback at instances may appear unsightly for those who want to follow strict guidelines. With their insatiable interest, people of number 5 love to chat, proportion gossip, news, new trends. They examine plenty. They absorb expertise like sponges, but they have to avoid mixing what became examined and heard. In any other case, they may be getting a broken phone as a result. Sometimes people of number 5 can gather a mountain of useless statistics. Even if they do no longer grow to be a soul of the agency within the proper sense, the vendors of number 5, however, regularly acquire around themselves a collection of people at a few meeting or birthday party. They are equipped to discuss a topical issue with anyone who is inclined to concentrate and reply to what was stated, ready to take the most brave, even formidable thoughts. Human beings of number 5 are extra bendy in wondering than many others. They are bendy in their moves too. Because of this, for human beings of this number it's always easy to conform to any situation. However, every so often they do no longer have sufficient time or braveness to make hard choices. In the abstract, philosophical field they possibly can't be called thinkers. However, the unpredictable kaleidoscope of the actual lifestyles has a magical impact on them. Emotional traits. Successful or unsuccessful might be a wedding or intimate relationship among the sexes, depends at the quantity, to which the partners understand every different and are geared up to fill the spiritual content of their love affair. People of number 5 are generally careworn by means of the outward manifestations of emotions. Word by way of their opinion is gambling greater crucial role than affection, hugs, kisses, and sometimes the sex itself. If the human beings of this vibration say, "I love you," they really mean it. Otherwise, they would now not speak. However, it is every now and then difficult for them to explicit their love in the regular bureaucracy, being, consequently, accused of insensitivity, coldness. They go through, feeling insulted, imagining that no person likes them. But through the years, they will take into account that phrases alone aren't sufficient for the expression of love. People with a birthday number 5 do now not like to be emotionally overloaded. They are quite reasonable, so that they do no longer leap out of the fireplace, however inside the frying pan. As for his or her health, there are not any congenital ailments associated with the vibration of number 5. People with this number simply need to be cautious. Because of their very active way of life and their stressed nature, they need to have enough relaxation, much like each person else, and due to the fact humans of number 5 love to examine, it's going to continually assist them cope with the troubles collected for the duration of the day. The media for them is a window into the arena. Media quench their thirst for understanding and leisure. Therefore, humans born with number 5 are often avid TV enthusiasts. They're very keen on cinemas, books and newspapers. If humans of number 5 have a child, they're generally satisfied to just accept the parental duties. Their sexual and emotional relationships are normally pretty easy, so their love for their youngsters, they specific particularly really and brazenly. The probability that they will destroy their infant with love may be very small. Number 5 is hardly ever oppressive in this problem. They continue from the reality that humans from an early age need to study the way to win their location under the sun. Along with the eloquence, these humans may have the ability for deductive and inductive questioning, but earlier than they observe it in exercise, they need to make sure that it is really worth it. Their highbrow freedom is the most important value for people of number 5. Among the high-quality characteristics of the number 5 companies ought to be mentioned that they have got a totally energetic mind. Curiosity leads them on those trails wherein the others are afraid to even look. Love for reading allows them in faculty, inside the complete procedure of cognition, despite the fact that they're no longer constantly correctly handling the records. However, their finest asset is eloquence. Here they're demonstrating an unmatched skills. Ability to grasp a word generally differs them from the alternative people. It defines the nature of identification and is strongly affecting relationships with the others. Certainly, we often choose a person through his speech. This applies to everybody, because the language is a true basis of verbal exchange. However, for those born below number 5, the eloquence is their key for the solution of many troubles. Yes, they are generally pushed by using intuition and intelligence. However, for a few representatives of this number, eloquence is playing a first-rate function. Lively, cheerful, sociable, those people often are able to attain a first-rate heights in their lives full of adventures and thrilling events. Number 5 is normally taken into consideration to be some of the pentagram, symbolizing 5 and striving for perfection. It is a good signal. People underneath variety 5 impact are guided to the unknown. Despite the fine guarantees and expectancies, human beings need to remember that unknown hardly ever brings wonderful outcome. Number 5 is always in want for motion. This number is dynamic and converting, and it often leads to misunderstanding of the lifestyles of someone. The one with quantity 5 should usually be in control of his or her desires. In such case, this variety will convey monetary success, because it changed into foretold with the aid of Pythagoreans. People with birthday range 5 are very sociable, have a bendy thoughts and huge outlook. However, Frequently their ordinary and sarcastic humorousness makes others uncomfortable, and it spoils total effect about such individual. People wide variety 5 are very curious. They love new traits, researches, tendencies, rumors and news of various type. They generally tend to read the whole lot loads. Such humans need to arrange information they benefit so as no longer to confuse statistics with what they have heard someplace. They accumulate statistics. It is form of strength for them. It has a few flaws, because in addition they recognize heaps of unneeded information that surfaces when individual wants to. Don't forget something else. Number 5 is an image of a person with principles, vivid individuality and shortage of corporation. It is able to be visible by the state of the computer. Emotional traits depending on whether companions proportion the identical moral values or now not, what stage of information and love is within the couple. Relationships may be either complex or comfortable. People must spiritually fit every different. Number 5 people do not like whilst the emotions are a type of drama or proven outwards. People like this put quite a few feel to the words. Words have greater strength than bodily manifestations of affection or every other efforts. However, if such someone says that he or she loves you, it's Miles' honest and well-notioned phrase. It is often complex for such people to say how they feel, to locate the proper phrases, so they're often told to be insensitive. But it is not genuine. Quantity 5 is clearly touchy and it hurts to pay attention such words. Time will pass with the aid of whilst such humans can subsequently decide on efforts and actions over words. Number 5 humans try to manipulate their feelings. So if they feel like it is too much for these days they may not maintain arguing or celebrating, because they prize a harmony. If people with range 5 are parents, they're usually happy mother and father, as they love youngsters. They are for concord in the entirety. Their sexual and emotional life is balanced and children can develop in a positive surroundings. They quite simply express their love to children. However, they won't in all likelihood ruin their baby because the key for them is harmony. They understand where the line is and why they cannot cross it. They truly accept as true with that only truthful work and impartial efforts can result in someone making and fulfillment in any sphere. Number 5 obtains oratorical skills and extremely good mind competencies. They recognize whilst and where to use it. Freedom of thought is virtually preferred through people with birthday range 5.